having upset the board and the players by losing in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Today, we must get through to the final for the second year running in the FA Cup, and we have a local derby in the Premier League. Hello and welcome to episode 68 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have two games for you as usual. First up, we go to Wembley for the semi-final of the FA Cup, the second season in a row that we've got to the semi-final, and potentially the second season in a row that we get through to the final. Current holders, of course, of the FA Cup want to get there and possibly win it for the second season in a row. There is one problem with that, though, is Liverpool are on the other side of the draw. They're playing Newcastle this weekend, also at Wembley, and as we well know from this series, they are our arch nemesis. But is this an opportunity to put that right? That is the question. And in the other game in the episode this time round, we have a game against our other rivals. Not necessarily a nemesis, but they are local derby rivals. The Beta Save last season, Tottenham, and we're playing them. As you see, we've played them 6 times in this series so far. We've won 3 times, drawn twice, and lost once. That loss at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium the last time that we played there, to be fair. It was a 2-1 loss on that occasion. Goals from Barbosa after 89 minutes, but Min Son had put Tottenham in front after 59, but grabbed a winner deep in injury time to really annoy us. So that is the only loss we have. Last time we played them, it was a 1-1 draw here at Stamford Bridge. Kai Havertz after 39 and Dane Scarlett after 83 minutes, putting us on the back foot, as it were. Not happy with that at all. But today we have first up Nottingham Forest. A couple of things to tell you about in the medical centre. We've got Khalido Koulibaly. He's still out. He's going to be about another 3 to 10 days. Rodrigo Kepa, Mason Mount and Kingsley Coman all coming back. Kingsley Coman not completely fit, but he picked up a hamstring injury in the Champions League quarterfinal. It wasn't anything major, thankfully, and he will be back. I don't think he may feature a cameo today, but I don't think he'll be back properly until the Tottenham game in the second game of the episode. I don't think there's a great deal else to tell you. As I say, in the preamble, the board have got, they're not happy. Basically, we failed in our thing. They wanted us to reach. Board are disappointed. The team only reached quarterfinal of the Champions League. However, they understand that the team had a difficult draw. Reach the final was basically where they wanted us to be. So anything less than that was not in the scope. And reach the final of FA Cup as a minimum is what they want us to do. With the FA Cup, so we've got to do that today, and that is our first game of the episode. Nottingham Forest are our opponents. They are in the Championship, got relegated last season if my memory serves me right. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find out. Clicked on that, but it didn't happen, did it? History overview, there we go. Yeah, got relegated last season in 19th place. This season they are currently, says 10th, but I'm not so sure about that. Let's go and check. Nottingham Forest currently 15th in the table on 54 points. I think a lot of people probably would have had them to come back up this season. Nottingham Forest. No, the media didn't. The media thought that they might struggle and be in 6th place, playoff place, but not immediately coming back up. But having said all of that, they're not doing so well. They're down in 15th place as it currently stands. So they're not having a good season. And they've done well, I suppose, to get through to the FA Cup final. Will they progress today, or will we be able to get through to our second final in a row? Let's go and find out and have a look at the team that will face Nottingham Forest. And this is the side that will face Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Carnesecchi continues in goal. Cucurella, who is in for the suspended Ben Chilwell. He's out, of course, having a 3-match ban. This is included in one of the 3 matches, so he will miss the Tottenham game as well. So we won't see him in this episode. Rice, Fofana and James making up the rest of the back line. Fernandes and Kante play in that central midfield roles. Rodrigo Mount returns behind Matheus Tell, who's up front. Sterling playing out on the right. And on the bench, we have Mendy, Garcia, Otavio, Barbosa, Timber, Koeman, Broja, Kovacic and Kai Havertz. And this is how the two sides face off against one another. Danny Golm is the manager at Forest at the moment. In goal then, Trafford, Ben Mee, McKenna, Duffy and Williams make up the defence. Ryan Yates is the defensive midfielder. Lundstrom and Gibbs-White in central midfield with Scarpa and Minton on the wide players, and they sit behind Dane Scarlett, who scored against us the last time we played Nottingham Forest in the Premier League before they got relegated last season, beating them 3-0 and 3-1 in the 2 games last season. Can we get a win at Wembley? We do like Wembley generally, so let's see if we can get a result today. And our first highlight, Mount crosses it in, it's gone in, and Matheus Tell adding to his tally for the season. 25th goal of the season on 34 minutes. And it's our first highlight of the game. Lovely ball. We haven't seen any... and that was our only highlight of that first half. Bit of a sort of quiet affair up until then, a bit cagey. But we've managed to get nose in front through Matheus Tell and a very good header from a free kick. It's 8 shots on target. 8 shots, 3 shots on target. 0.68. We probably should be better than that. 66% of the possession. Nottingham Forest have had 5 shots, 2 of which have been on target. 0.25. 34% of the possession. We just need to up the ante a little bit. We're not playing at our best, but we have got our noses in front. But we need a couple more goals to make this comfortable. And our first highlight of the second half. And that ball forward from Nottingham Forest. Rice there to Cucurella. Cucurella to Kante. Kante. Sterling. Cross it in for Mount. Mount's come off the woodwork and it's gone out. And our second highlight. James throws it into Mount. Mount to Kante. Kante to Fofana, who's in support. Finds James, who's in a forward position over the top to Mount. Mount puts it in the back of the net. 22 goals this season from Mason Mount. And between Mount, Matheus Tell and Kai Havertz, they're the primary goal scorers. And Mount, lovely. When he got this, it hit first time, really. 2-0. Cucurella throws it into Mount. Back to Cucurella. Fernandes, Rice, Kante, he comes forward. Has been tackled, but James is there as support. And that ball bobbling around. Mount gets his second. And he's 23rd of the season. 3-0 after 69 minutes. And that has put pay to Nottingham Forest. Don't think they're coming back from this. And I think we can make some changes and rest a couple of players before the Tottenham game. And with 69 minutes on the clock, making 3 changes, Declan Rice has come off. Eric Garcia is on for him. Rodrigo comes on and Otavio comes off, and Otavio comes on for him. And we've taken one off in midfield. It's Kovacic on for Fernandes. And with 80 minutes on the clock, we're going to make our final two changes. We've taken off Reece James, who's tiring. He's had a good game, and we've taken him off and brought on Yaron Timber as the right wing back. And we've also taken off Mason Mount. Give him a rest. He scored 2 goals today, bossing the game, and could possibly have got a hat-trick. But we're going to take him off, rest him anyway, because we've got the Tottenham game coming up. And Kai Havertz has come on in that attacking playmaker role to replace him. And we have a corner into injury time. 4 minutes of injury time. This is the second minute of injury time. It's headed back out to Otavio. Otavio sends it deep. Kante, Timber, just gone wide. And it's all over. And we did the damage in the middle of that second half. Mason Mount getting 2 goals in 9 minutes. 60 minutes and 69 minutes. Finishing Nottingham Forest off after we got our noses in front through Mateus Tail on 34 minutes. 16 shots, 6 on target. Not quite our 50% that we wanted. 1.55, 67% of the possession. I think we had 6 in the first half, so that didn't change a great deal. They had 7 shots, 3 on target. I think they had 5 and 2 at the end of the first half, so they've only shot 2 more shots and 1 on target in that second half. 0.30, 33% of the possession. We're through to the final of the FA Cup for the second year running. Let's go and find out who we are playing in that final. And here's confirmation of the results, and Liverpool are the team that we will meet in the final. They've got past Newcastle by 2 goals to 1. We can actually see that a bit better, I think. Here we go. Olmo for Newcastle, getting them in front after 7 minutes. And it was a own goal from Otamendi after 18 minutes that brought them back level. But it went to extra time, and Kanate getting the winner after 112 minutes just to ease them through to the final to play us on the 24th of May. 24th of May, right at the end of the season there. And that is the FA Cup final that we will meet. And of course, Newcastle, Liverpool, our nemesis this season in this series, as you'll see. Played them 9 times, lost 5 times, won twice, drawn twice. So it's about 50-50, but we're 13 goal difference, and not won in the last 4 games. So we do need to see if we can do something. Last time we played them in the FA Cup, we lost 4-1. That was in the FA Cup semi-final back in 23. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tall order, isn't it, to say the least. Shenanigans going on in the Premier League. We've dropped down to 3rd place. Everton beating Leicester by 3 goals to 0. Everton up into 4th place now. We do have 3 games in hand over them, though, and 9 points. Manchester City creeping in front of us. They won their game by 3 goals to 0 against Southampton. That man, Harling, doing the damage again. What is he doing? But yeah, he's pushed them up into 2nd place, albeit we do have 3 games in hand over them. So at the moment, I'm not overly concerned. We just need to make sure we win those games in hand. Of course, they have 5 games to play, and most of the other teams having 5 games to play. Liverpool, of course, have played 31 games, and Tottenham, our opponents today, have played 31 games as well. So that's all to happen. Next game up then is the Premier League game against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Past meetings, we've played them 6 times this series, won 3 times, drawn once and lost once. The last time we lost was in the Premier League back in 2023 at their place. It was, in fact, the last time that we played at their place. It was a 2-1 loss on that occasion. I think it was towards the end of the season. It wasn't. It was at Christmas time. Don't want to lose today. We could do with keeping that pressure up. A, on Liverpool, and B, on Manchester City. Let's go and have a look at the team then that will face Tottenham. And the team to face Tottenham in this very important Premier League game, of course, to keep up the pressure at the top of the table. Carnesecchi in goal. Cucurella who is in because of the suspended Ben Chilwell, albeit Cucurella has been playing very, very well and might be trying to make that left-sided wing-back his own. Garcia, Timber in central defence. Reece James on the right-hand side. Reece James on 19 assists for the season and could break Mason Mount's record if he gets another one. Rice and Kante in central midfield with Koeman back from injury on the left-hand side. Mount as that attacking playmaker. Rodrigo out on the right of the attacking midfield. Havertz comes in up front for Matthias Tell, who are both of them vying for the top spot of goal scorers for the season. Kai Havertz has the lead at the moment from Matthias Tell, but Mason Mount is a growing pressure on the pair of them as he has 23, Havertz 27 and Matthias Tell 25. On the bench then, Mendy, Fofana, Fernandes, Savic is back from his suspension, Kovacic, Otavio, Barbosa, Koulibaly, who's still got a bit of an injury, but we need to make up numbers on the bench, and Matthias Tell. And this is how we face up against Tottenham. Spalletti is the manager at Tottenham currently. Loris in goal then. Angelino, Bastoni, Romero, Emerson Royal are the defensive line. Eric Dyer as the defensive midfield. Ben Tanker and Bissouma are the central midfield. Son, who we've got to watch on the left-hand side. Zanilo are playing out on the right, and they sit behind Taremi, who leads the attack. On the bench, Junior, Davis, Hodgberg, Richarlison, Malcolm, Vanderson, Fagan Walcott, Christian Ludu and Kipson. They are the bench for Tottenham. Our first highlight, 5 minutes in virtually, and it's a Tottenham goal kick. That ball coming forward. And Tottenham go on attack. It's Emerson Royal, and he's got it through to Mehdi. Emerson Royal crosses it in. Timber clears it away. Not very far, though, and it's still bobbling around there, and it's gone over the top. Emerson Royal with a throw-in. Cucurella winning that ball, but Emerson Royal wins it, and Zanilio is scored. And Zanilio got the better of Cucurella. And we go a goal behind after 17 minutes. Not what we wanted. And Zanillo all on his own. Emerson Royal with that throw in. It's all been Tottenham highlights up until now. Not seen much of us at all. Have we got a Champions League hangover? Hopefully not. That's a shot from distance and it's over the top. Another highlight and another Tottenham highlight. Trying to find a way back in here, and we have Rodrigo's got through. Havertz, can he add to his goal total? He can. Back on terms, 28th goal of the season, and it was a well-worked goal. And Havertz just calmly, so calmly. Rodrigo here, he had a lot of work to do, Havertz. Defenders on him, and he's just, look, Romero tries to win that ball, and Havertz just plays it and then scores. 1-1. Carnesecchi gives the goal kick out to James. Rodrigo holds the ball up. He finds Timber in support. Timber finds Rice. Rice finds Koeman. Koeman finds Havertz. Havertz, can he add to it? No. Yes. No. He's still there and he's been pushed over. And he's being awkward today, is Havertz. He's causing all sorts of trouble to the Tottenham defence. And it's a penalty. And we could take the lead here. Is it Havertz going to take it? That's the question. It's not. It's Mason Mount. And Mason Mount's missed it. Oh, dear. Oh, man. And that is all the highlights for the first half. And we've got to rue what's happened because Tottenham have the upper hand here. Kai Havertz equalising after 25 with Zanillo taking the lead for Tottenham after 17 minutes. 1-1 at half-time. We've not been on form. We've not got a lot of shots. We've not been hitting the target. They've had 10 shots, 2 on target, 0.75. We've had 6 shots, 1 on target, 1.18. Really, hang on a minute, this doesn't reflect this. This is not right, is it? 47% of the possession against their 53. It says here Tottenham are in the lead, but that doesn't bear right on here. If that's right, 1.18, we must have come back into it towards the end of the half. But Mason Mount missing that penalty after 41 could be a bit of a damp squib. We really need to get it in the second half, because the news is, as it comes in, Liverpool are playing Norwich. They're drawing 1-1. They got an equaliser through Ward-Prowse after 44. They were losing 1-0 to Norwich. They've had Gomez sent off. So we're hopeful that Norwich might be able to beat them. And if they could, it would mean that we close that gap. That's why they're on 76. I think when we last looked, they were on about 74 with a game with us, with the game in hand. So, yeah, it would be 75, actually, wouldn't it? I'll be telling lies. So that gap would be down to 5 points, which would be rather good. But we'll see as that pans out in the second half. But we need to be a bit better in the second half if we're going to win this. And with 58 minutes on the clock, we're going to make some changes, because we're not making any inroads whatsoever in this game. And I think we've had 7 shots, but only that 1 on target. And we really need to try and up that. So it's Mason Mount, who's not having a good game, a 6.10. He's come off. Havertz dropping down into that attacking playmaker role. Matthias Tell coming on up front. He's one of our other top goal scorers. So we're hoping that he can do something about it. And we've also made 1 change in midfield. It's coming off. We have taken off a Kante, who, again, not having a fantastic game. We've brought on Milinkovic-Savic in his place. And a throw in. James, Havertz, back to James. James to Timber. Timber finds Savic, who finds Garcia. Back to Timber. Timber to James. James finds Rodrigo. Rodrigo's lost the ball, though. And Tottenham come forward, but Cucurella tidying up. Koeman comes back to cover. Cucurella finds Havertz. Oh, goalkeeper making a last-minute save. Loris getting a hand to that, and looked like Havertz had guided it in, but not the case. James swings it in. It's headed clear. And with 71 minutes on the clock, we're making a couple more changes. Declan Rice has come off for Fernandes in that midfield role, and we've also taken off Koeman and brought on Barbosa. Barbosa playing on the right side with Rodrigo on the left. That's how we have set that up, and we'll see if we can make those inroads. We're looking for a winning goal. And with 86 minutes on the clock, we don't appear to have any more highlights, and we are struggling making our final change. Yaron Timber coming off, and Wesley Fofana coming on in central defence just to try and shore that up. Can we still find a winning goal? 1-1. We have a corner. James with the corner. Swings it in. It's headed clear. Havertz is going to get there. Pulls it back for James. James crosses it in. Yes! And it's Barbosa with his 11th goal of the season. And I think that may just give us the win. That we can hope. We can hope. We might go to a defensive midfield to try and block this off. Havertz run back for that. James could have had that shot blocked off, but he found Barbosa on that far side, and Barbosa putting it away. And another highlight. James with the free kick. It's headed away. Rodrigo tidies up. Sergi. Oh, and that's short, but managed to survive. Savic finds James and nearly didn't. James on the ball again. James, can he cross this ball in? He can. It's headed down. Havertz. And his 29th goal of the season. 3-1, and we're making this look easy now. But it's not been. It's been hard work for a long time looked like it was going to be a draw, and we've only just managed to pull away. We've gone defensive midfielder, but Rodrigo heading that ball down into the path of Havertz. And it is all over. It's finally 3-1 and a win, and we needed to win because Liverpool were winning in their game against Norwich City. A man down as well. A good game in a way. 15 shots, 5 on target, 2.98 on the XG, 49% of the possession. Tottenham had 17 shots, 3 on target, 1.17, 51% of the possession. We did get past them in the end, but it was very, very hard work. Kai Havertz getting 2 goals and 2 key passes for a player of the match award. And just to confirm, Liverpool did win their match and stay 6 points ahead of us. We are 2 points clear of Manchester City in 3rd place now. 12 points clear of Everton in 4th. As I said, for a long while, it's a 3-horse race. But we do have 2 games in hand over Manchester City, 1 game in hand over Liverpool, which means that we are 3 points behind Liverpool. We just need them to slip up. And that game against Norwich, down to 10 men, was the opportunity. And when Bamford scored after 29, I thought maybe, just maybe, we might get a nose in front. But we got to thank Barbosa on 90 minutes and Kai Havertz 4 minutes into injury time for giving us that win against Tottenham. We edge closer to a showdown with Liverpool, really, as we close in on the end of the season. Well, what can I say? What can I say? It's all very, very interesting. We have 2 away games coming up now against Middlesbrough and Aston Villa. I think we are going to just trying to work out. Obviously, Fulham, Manchester City, last 2 games of the season. And will it come down to those? I'm thinking we'll play Middlesbrough offline. We're going to come back for Aston Villa and Wolves. Hang on a minute, we're Newcastle. Newcastle are 13th. Wolves are 5th. Aston Villa are 12th. Right, we'll play Middlesbrough offline. We'll come back for Aston Villa and Wolves in the next match. And then we'll come back for the final games of the season. Fulham and Manchester City. And then the FA Cup final against Liverpool. All I can say is we're getting to the culmination of the end of the season and the series. And we'll be then looking for a new series to start. What that's going to look like right now, I do not know. So Aston Villa and Wolves, it's a Midlands episode in the next episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. Keeps you up to date with all future episodes of this and new series as they are released. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. If you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. It's just down below here. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 69 and it's out on Friday. Until then, I wish you a very good week. Until then, goodbye.